In jump rope, there are 7 deadly sins that most beginners make. Some make all of them. And that's what we're going to cover in this video. How to recognize them and how to fix them. This is Tim Haft with Shana Brady from Punk Rope. And we're excited to share with you what we've learned over the last 15 years or so. Without further ado, the first mistake and the most common is faulty timing. So with jump rope, the timing is always you turn first, you jump second. Turn, jump, turn, and jump. And that holds whether you're doing a single under, or a double under, or triple under, you name it. So the mistake that's often made is the opposite timing, which would be jump first, turn second. And that's usually due to a little anxiety, little impatience, a little fear. And the fix is to relax, calm yourself, and repeat turn, jump, turn, jump. And it's got to become muscle memory. So if it helps, you can always turn to the side, as Shana's doing there. Turn, then jump. Sometimes it helps to put the rope down altogether. Turn, jump, turn, jump, turn, jump. Okay. Second, possibly most common mistake is...
You can also buy our Beast Heavy rope.
Yes, the Beast Heavy rope will often help with faulty timing. Any slightly heavier rope. So dropping the hands, where the hands start in the correct position about waist height or slightly above the hips, but then as the rope goes overhead, the elbow extends and then you see Shana's arms are almost straight. That's dropping hands, or sometimes we'll call it throwing the rope. And what happens is, and you can hear it, the rope slams straight to the ground. Boom, because you're not making a circle with the wrists, you're simply going down. And the rope will slam out way in front of the feet, and there's nowhere for it to go except bounce and then catch your ankles.
Younger adult version.
So the you see that with a lot of young children. So the fix for that is, got to keep those hands up. Got to keep them where you can see them. Keep them about waist height. Don't allow them to drop. As with all mistakes, you can back up and ditch the rope. You can turn to the side. You can use no rope. Look in a mirror. Have a partner work with you. Keep those hands up. Mistake number 3, often related and associated with number 2, and it's bringing your hands behind your hips. So we want to keep our hands either level with our hips or in front of our hips at all times. Once we bring the hands behind the hips, it opens up the chest, takes your weight back into your heels, makes it very, very difficult to get any kind of rhythm going. You might be able to do a few jumps, but you'll fatigue quickly and you'll miss much more frequently. So this one's a little bit easier to fix because it's a visual thing. You want to see those hands using your peripheral vision. If you can't, if they've disappeared, they're likely behind your hips and they're too far back. So we got to keep them forward. Next mistake is...
You should learn the side swing. Got our video.
Oh, there we go. So side swing, crossover swing. We'll cover that in another video.
And look at that. Hands in front.
But that will definitely keep your hands in front. That's a great fix. The next one's really 2 mistakes, but we wanted to call the 7 deadly sins, so we've combined it. And it is either turning from the elbow, which we call a crank turn, and you'll see Shana's elbow flexing and extending, flexing and extending. Can you jump that way? Absolutely, but it's a lot of effort, and you can even hear the rope slamming into the ground. Makes it difficult to get any rhythm and continuity. Related and often combined is turning from the shoulder. So with that, you'll often see the elbows come way apart from the ribs. We like to stay in tight when we jump. And if you're turning from the shoulder, can you be successful? Well, yes, you can jump a bunch, but you're going to tire yourself out very quickly. And all you have to do, guys, to test this out is extend your arms out straight, maybe hold a can of soup, and just see how long you can hang on before you get tired. It's not going to be very long. Also,
used to use that as a punishment.
That's right, that was a punishment. Also, look at Shana's rope when she does that. Effectively, it becomes much shorter, so what does she have to do? She has to jump much higher. So it compounds the problem. So the fix on that is keeping the elbows in tight and not allowing the elbow joint to open and close. That's a little tougher, but back to the swing, and using either a mirror or a partner. And if you find that you're using a lot of elbow, you use the opposite hand, you grab the bicep. So Shana's going to grab her bicep, she's going to lock it in, and now she cannot extend at the elbow. So that's a great fix for both the elbow turn and the shoulder turn.
You can also work on your grip. Check out our proper grip video.
Proper grip video, yes.
Thumbs on top. Turn, pressing down your thumb.
So the proper grip, proper turn makes a big difference. Moving along, two more that are also often associated is either jumping too high. Remember, your rope is only about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, so that's all you need to jump to clear it. If you jump too high, you're going to fatigue. It's not a terrible thing, but it's wasted energy, it's inefficient. And often associated that is kicking the heels back as you jump too high. This is sometimes referred to as a donkey kick. This is actually a more challenging and damaging mistake because it really beats up the knees, beats up the feet, beats up the ankles. Now the fix for this is often to ditch the rope and jump without it, because typically when we jump without it, we're able to keep those jumps low, light, and soft. Do that enough and you'll create the muscle memory you need to jump properly when turning the rope. With all mistakes, once you catch them, stop. Do not pass go. Stop immediately and try one or more of the fixes so that you don't find yourself getting stuck into a bad habit. Now we got two more to cover. I'm sorry, it's been a long video, but this one's a little tougher to see. Shana's going to face the camera. It's called a one-arm dominant turn. It's when one hand is contributing very little to the effort. And what you'll see is, Shana, I believe, is going to use her right hand. You'll see that rope slide way over to the left, and then usually the jumper will miss on the same side. In this case, it's the left side, because there's just no margin for error there. So if you are dominant with either your right or your left hand, it's time to go back to your windmill swing with your non-dominant arm and get that wrist to be as proficient as the dominant wrist. Once you're able to do that, the arc will clean up, it'll be centered over your head, and you won't miss as frequently. And our final deadly sin is the least deadly. It's called a double bounce, and it's a jump that's so slow that the jumper is able to make a little extra hop in between turns. It's a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2, and it's not a terrible thing. However, if you continue in this fashion, you'll never turn fast, and it can be difficult to get out of it. So this is really just about speed. And once you're able to turn a little faster and jump a little quicker, you'll be able to eliminate the double bounce. And that's often done exactly with the windmill swing. Bounce, 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 turn is faster. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for bearing with us while we covered the 7 deadly sins of jump rope and how to fix them. We appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Check us out at punkrope.com. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.